This is New Orleans. Who is it? Who is it? This is New Orleans.
All right, let's pivot to this one, man. New story here talking about the Saints are conducting an interview with North Carolina State cornerback Devon Marshall. The Saints, and this shout out to Shreveport Times, they're kind of dropping this here as well, is that Saints conduct interview with this cornerback. And, they lost Alante Taylor. So to the Titans of free agency, it become clear that choosing a successor in the 26 NFL draft will be a viable option. Holding the number 8 spot in the first round of the draft, general manager Mickey Loomis and his front office could have their choice at any cornerback that they like, but they may target another position at that slot so early on. So they might decide to do something else. So the Saints might prefer to target a cornerback in day 2 or 3. That approach will help them look for an immediate contributor to complement cornerbacks Kool-Aid McKinstry and Quincy Riley, while focusing on another position at the top of the draft. One potential candidate is North Carolina State cornerback Devon Marshall, who completed a virtual interview with the team on Friday. Leading the nation with 16 passes deflections in 25 and earning an 85.0 PFF coverage grade, Marshall is an appealing day 3 prospect for the Saints. The former North Carolina State cornerback also posted 50 total tackles and 2 picks in 2025. He spent the past 2 seasons with the program after transferring from Villanova in 2024, standing 5'10", and weighing 194 pounds. Marshall recorded a 40-yard dash time of 4.64. However, the testing results don't seem to reflect his quickness and ability to keep pace with receivers you frequently see on tape. Marshall also posted a broad jump of 10.3 and a vertical jump of 32.5 inches with a 4.4 second time in the short shuttle. Now, Marshall is projected to be drafted as high as the 5th round and is currently ranked at number 151 on the PFF big board for the Saints, who possess 5 picks on day 3 of the draft. Now, Marshall could be an outstanding league-ready cornerback capable of making a significant impact on a team like New Orleans, which is looking to make a splash in 2026. So the Saints looking at Mr. Marshall to see what he can bring to the team. So let's take a look at Mr. Marshall's scouting report so we can see what the Saints see and see how they feel. Now, NFL draft scouting report, according to Bleacher Report, delivers the scoop. Now, Marshall was the NCAA. We talked about his passes defensed, showcasing his uncanny ability to disrupt passes at the catch point. This is a picture of him right there. A former walk-on at Villanova, a 3-star transfer to NC State. He racked up 83 total tackles, 59 solo, 4 picks, 26 pass defense, and 2 forced fumbles in 2 seasons with the Wolfpack. The work ethic, competitiveness, and toughness at the catch point will be valuable assets in transition to the NFL. So this is one of the ones they kind of talked about here, is that he's extremely 26 pass defensed. That's a lot of passes. I mean, he gets there. Now, 5'10", and he's not very fast, but that just goes to show you that he's a ball hawk, getting his hands on 26 pass defense. You're knocking him out of it. That is a ball hawking guy. He had a couple of interceptions, but getting his hand in there and breaking up passes is something interesting. The Saints taking a look at him for possibly being a pick in day 3. Now, what's interesting about it is that the fact that the Saints could use some help there, in the backup secondary role, and a player like this could help you in special teams as well. But the thought process is, we talked about Alante Taylor going. Do the Saints address because that's the point too, the star role. Is that going to be Kool-Aid McKinstry? He changed by the way, a little fun fact, he changed his number to number 1. He took Alante Taylor's number 1. When Alante left it, Kool-Aid McKinstry now is going to be wearing, I think he was wearing number 4 before. He'll be wearing number 1 for the Saints this upcoming season. So is that a little giblet or a clue to him playing a star position for the team? Could that be? What do you think about that, fam? There's the unofficial depth chart, shows that Jordan Howden occupies the nickel position. And, you know, most of the times when we have a player that plays that Alontae Taylor spot, he has to have, he has to be a DB that has safety quality and cornerback speed. He got to come up and make tackles at the line of scrimmage. They're going to blitz him. We know Jordan Howden is like 6'1", 6 feet, 200 something pounds, 210, 209, something like that. But Jordan Howden is listed as unofficial in the depth chart about that. In the line, and Kool-Aid McKinstry, it's been rumored, you know, he picked up Alontae's number. He'd be wearing number 1 for the upcoming season, and period. But he could be a person that you use there because, you know, fun fact, that when he was with the University of Alabama, they used him in a star role on the Alabama defense. Could the Saints be revisiting that? If that is indeed the case, that they want to kick McKinstry, and we'll learn all this later on after the draft to see if they'll have some card moving, so to speak, or moving guys around on the line of scrimmage to determine who would be the better fit, right? So Kool-Aid does have some work at Alabama, playing a star role, some familiarity with it. Could he be operating as that player? You know, or is it Jordan Howden? We don't know. We'll figure it out later on after the draft, because it'll dictate or decide rather how the Saints are drafting, because they got to have a fallback plan on how they're going to move forward. Who, if, you know, knowing Alontae Taylor was going to leave, who would be the guy that you feel comfortable with playing a star role? And if that is indeed the case, then you would have to draft another cornerback. You know, you would have to pick up another player. So if you have a guy there who you answer the question, then it probably won't be a guy like, you know, our fantastic safety, Caleb Downs. It might be Mansour Delane. You know, they might just say, hey, let's get the edge rusher in the first round, get the cornerback, because they'll have good cornerbacks available in the second round that the Saints can reach to. You know, it depends. It really depends. It depends on who's highest on their board and how the board falls. You know, I really do think Bain is probably the best. I mean, Jeremiah Love is probably the highest player. He's the highest player on my board. I think he's the best player in this draft, like overall. But he more than likely will go to either one of these teams. It could be, I think, Titans, Giants. Hell, either one of them could use him. I mean, you give Jordan Love and Cam Ward together, go in the second round, get another wide receiver there. I mean, you could see some stuff percolating for the Tennessee. That will really wake up things when they finally get to that brand new building in Tennessee, to have a Cam Ward and a Jeremiah Love. That'll be an but besides that, you got to look at guys like Love if he's there. Some people like we got running backs. I'm telling you, they're gonna take the best people on their board. Bain, if Bain falls to you there, you got to look at it. And if you already got Kool-Aid at the star position, Mansour Delane might be the guy you pair with Quincy Riley. And then, of course, later on, a guy like Devon Marshall could be a guy you pick up in day 3. You have, like I said, 5 picks in the first 4 rounds. You got you got picks that you could pick up on guys like this on the back end in day 3 that can help. So this is the Saints going to rely a lot on their scouting to take some of these players. So this type of stuff matters. So anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this player, Devon Marshall. He doesn't have the size, but he proves that he's a ball hawk, led the nation last year with 26 pass defense. That's actually pretty phenomenal. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man, and notification bell as we keep going and moving, grooving in this thing.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com, your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.